My friends, I got some news for you. Presented by Under Armour and
Woo!
Sleeper Fantasy.
Woo!
Welcome to Light Years.
Leave that picture up there for a second, Samuel. That is amazing. Look at that. Presented by the Curry brand and Under Armour brand. Look at that. Well done. Well done.
Not the way I wanted to introduce it, but you know what? They're a presenting sponsor for more than one episode, so they tell us. And we're so excited. Like, I can't think of a brand I want to sponsor Light Years more. We're going to bring some good stuff with you on this one. Unfortunately, we do have to introduce it on a Warriors 104-115 loss to the Cleveland Cavaliers. But I want to take your temperature. While today sucked, I kind of still feel generally optimistic about the direction of this team. We can start there.
I do. I thought this was a pretty tough game to play. I mean, we talked about this when we went through the schedule game by game a week ago, but this was kind of disgusting, Sam. The NBA schedule makers had this team go on the road. Then they had them go home to play against Sac, and they flew him out again on the road on the other side of the country. And now this one is going to be the first end of a back-to-back. They just played a back-and-forth game against OKC, right? No less than 2 nights ago. It's a Saturday afternoon, right? So I don't know. I kind of can't blame them for looking this terrible. It feels like when you're watching your football team play a 10 a.m. game on the East Coast and they just kind of have no legs for the first 30 minutes. This is kind of what it felt like. So I'm not too worried. It sounds like you aren't either. So
no, I mean, frustrating because I think they can beat this Cleveland team, and watching the game was frustrating the whole way through. But to your point, first major road trip of the year, we know after Wednesday they are predominantly home for 2 months. And in general, it's going to happen a little bit. I think we can let it go a little bit. They play Detroit tomorrow. I think tonight was more a situation of tired legs than anything systemic for this team. But I will say, they lost kind of the same way. They did lose the same way they lost to the Phoenix Suns. They're 5-2 now. We're seeing overall trends. This team went 18 for 53 from 2-point range. I'm going to pull out my handy dandy calculator to tell you what percentage that would be.
Mm-hmm.
Newsflash, it's not good. 34% from 2-point range. Kind of the same thing, 36% from the field. They hit their threes tonight, 39% in general. I don't think anyone's going to be upset with that percentage, but reminded me a lot of the Phoenix game where they could not finish inside. It was essentially Steph and Clay save us. That's the only offense they really had going in general.
Is that a long-term concern, a sustainable concern? Is that a thing that you're going to have to worry about all season long? Because, they did save them for maybe the first 15 minutes of the game, right? Steph and Clay, and then they kind of wore down. Steph had 6 turnovers. Let's be clear. It's not like he played a great game. Clay kind of wore down there by the end. They look slow. It also feels like, to me, that's what a team that's a little bit older looks like, especially this team. Right, a little bit more concerning to me though when you talk about tired legs, and maybe not getting to the rim is like an Andrew Wiggins, right? Is maybe even I would say Kuminga, but Kuminga plays so much better in the second half. Maybe you kind of throw that out there, but Wiggins specifically, he had this one play, Sam, where he just and maybe multiple plays a game. It's just he just doesn't go and try to dunk the ball. Because I think he just doesn't want to shoot free throws, right? We saw this happen with Andre Speedrins way back in the day, who kind of just stopped being aggressive because he just didn't want to shoot free throws.
Even like better player than both those guys, Iguodala with
the
weird like under layups, or just like, dude, come on, man. I don't know what this team is. I think Steph and Clay spook them. I think that's really what it comes down to. They people see them shoot in practice and they get a little in their own head about what like reasonable shooting looks like. That's the only defending of Wiggins I'm going to do on this one. I agree with you. Like my main takeaway with this Warriors team is I think they have good chemistry. I think they play smart basketball. I think they might be good defensively. I think they might be really good defensively. I know Steph is still one of the best players in the league, and for my money, the best player in the league. I know Stephen Clay can shoot the shit out of it, but who is going to give them kind of athleticism attacking the rim and getting easy 2-pointers? Who's going to be that person? And the easy answer is Andrew Wiggins and Jonathan Kuminga, and probably in that order, because Wiggins is the more experienced player. He did it in the finals, that sort of thing. But to date, it hasn't happened. I don't know, man. Wiggins is also struggling with his 3-point shot. Sometimes I wonder if he just started hitting open jumpers, if he'd feel a little more like relaxed and confident in other aspects of his game. But like the whole thing's a problem. He can't hit an open jumper. He's lost his touch attacking the rim. Like, I don't really know what to make of it. It's not it could be, to your point, it could be like fear of contact, but like over the course of the first 7 games, he's got up there, and it's been a mess. I don't know.
He doesn't look physically impaired. He's not injured. He's not getting up He's not getting up any lower. He's still super athletic. He's still super quick. I don't think his defense is super amazing right now, but it's still good. It's still better than a lot of people.
It's not bad or anything. Yeah.
But 26 minutes. I mean, like, let's not even talk about the stats that he put up in 26 minutes. He only played 26 minutes. That's been
a theme. He's
somewhat
been
common, right? Yeah.
In crunch time the entire way. And Steve Kerr said what every time? I have a lot of good players. I'm playing who's going to play the best at the end. And part of me wonders, like, at some point, is Wiggins going to take it as a slight? Because I know for a fact, if he benched Klay Thompson, Klay would be personally offended, you know?
Right.
If he benched Draymond, not only would he be personally offended, he'd put out a podcast telling us he's personally offended. And then we'd be annoyed, but that's a different story.
Who looks fantastic, by the way. Draymond looks fantastic.
Yeah, Wiggins, it just seems like he's just taking it. And maybe he's in his own head, and it's probably just his personality on some level too. But it's like, at some point, let's see the pride. Let's see kind of, you know what I'm saying.
They need him to not. If they're gonna win a championship, they can't have this. I mean, people are saying, like, you got to trade him. They can't. Look, man, they can't trade him. They need him to play better. They need him to play like he was 2 years ago. They can't just supplant him with Jonathan Kuminga and hope, because Jonathan Kuminga may not be as good as that guy. And also, exactly. And also, it'd be nice they have 2 guys that were really good, right? If they had 2 guys, two athletes, 2-way wings,
2,
it would be nice. Chase Jackson Davis 3. You know what I mean? Like, it would be nice. To get off Wiggins for a second, just one final thing on this bit about kind of the tired legs and stuff. Chris Paul went 2 for 10. He hasn't made a shot really all season. And when you talk about hitting those tough twos, right? That's the thing maybe with him where, but these are the games. 25 minutes. It's on the road. He's older. He's not the same guy, and
he hasn't hit shots all year.
You're right. It's just hard. He's done so many good things. That's the one thing he just hasn't done.
You got to assume the shot's going to come around, but on some level, you're thinking, but what if it doesn't? What if he's just old? You know, like, I don't know.
That's hard.
It's a little worrisome, but it's to your point. They did trade Jordan Poole, and as frustrating as last season was, and as hilarious as his Wizards tenure is, when they did compete for a title, he was their second and third leading scorer most nights. And they're going to have to recreate that in the aggregate without him. And, you know, Chris Paul's more of a facilitator and a high IQ guy, but he does need to give them some scoring. So it's another thing to watch. And, you know, again, they're 5-2 now. So it's not a sky's falling or anything like that. But like, these are things I'm looking for. I'm looking for Wiggins and Kuminga to kind of establish themselves a little bit. And I'm looking for Chris Paul to start hitting some shots.
Yeah. Let's do sleeper. Let's get our sleeper segment in here.
I was going to say, you know, speaking of my guy, Jordan Poole.
You guys aren't ready for this. You guys are not ready for this. Here we go. So this is our weekly sleeper daily fantasy basketball segment of the week. Sam Esfandiari, what are we looking at? What are we looking at for this week? Actually, this is from Monday night. I put this bet together this morning for Monday night.
Did you really pick Jordan Poole, Kelly Oubre, and Tobias Harris. I'm not concerned about Tobias, but
right,
Poole and Oubre, really?
So this is my thought process, right? So Tobias, you get it, right? He's a guy that's been there's no Harden. He's the guy that's just consistently a scorer. 14.5 is pretty low, right?
Been sneaky good, yeah.
Jordan Poole look, dude, he hasn't shot the ball great. He's shot the ball a lot. At some point, he's going to get hot. I'm not saying he's got to play amazing. All he's got to do is get over 17.5. He's in Philly, right? Give me 17.5. I believe in our guy. And then the Kelly Oubre is the funniest one because he's been scorching all week. Dude. Excuse me, all
blowing
season.
kisses at the crowd. It's peak Oubre.
5x multiplier. So I'm going to do the read here. This is what you can do. So if you're not using the Sleeper app for daily fantasy basketball, you should. Tomorrow night, the Light Years podcast is going to be taking Jordan Poole over 17.5. Tobias Harris over 14.5. Kelly Oubre over 24.5 for points, rebounds, and assists. So if you think you know basketball,
money.
That's dude. Look at that multiplier right there too. So this is the cool thing about Sleeper App Fantasy is you put all these picks together, you get a 5.34x multiply. So you bet $100, you can win $534. And here's the promo code. Use the promo code LightYears. You'll get up to $100 match on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Currently operational in over 25 states. Check out Sleeper today.
You know, on the Warriors front, I will say what was exciting about this game was Trayce Jackson-Davis and Brandon Podziemski. How nice is it seeing rookies who can actually contribute? Like, it feels like I didn't know it was possible based off the last couple of years. Those dudes are both keepers, in my opinion. It feels like maybe it's because the last few years they've drafted just project on top of project on top of project. Seeing guys who are ready to play, Trayce Jackson-Davis, it's my Fitz voice on, 4-year college player, and then like Pods is young, but like anytime you watch him, you're like, oh, that guy's really smart. He knows how to read the game, that sort of thing. I thought they provided a spark in the mid-third to like early fourth. I thought they actually were going to make the comeback, but what a nice addition to this team.
Trayce Jackson-Davis is the guy that pops every single time he gets on the court. He played 12 minutes tonight. So I'm going to get the bat out the way. He fouled 4 times. He missed 5 free throws, but I think, maybe those are fixable. I mean, I don't think he's going to shoot like Wiggins all the time. We'll see. But Sam, he reminds me of, you remember when Draymond Green and just immediately, and I'm not saying he's going to be Draymond, but immediately you saw that he could play in the NBA, and you could see he could play NBA defense, which is, I think, not to say that it's easy for anybody else, but if you're a half decent scorer, most people can score in the NBA if you have the ball a lot in your hands, right? But it's really hard to play really good NBA defense. And to
have the awareness to know what's going on around you, yeah.
Right off the bat. Like, this is not year 2. This is not year 3. He doesn't have to learn this shit. He's not Victor Wembanyama where he's so long that it just doesn't matter. He's just going to be a great defender as long as he has half a brain out there. Now, he's semi-undersized, but he's out there blocking. He had a couple blocks, I think one on Darius Garland coming in where he just didn't foul the guy. To me, someone that's that good on defense already off the bat is amazing. And the thing is a spot rotation guy. I feel like he almost has to play 10 minutes a game right now. He's that good.
I don't know where they're coming from. That's the issue. I kind of agree with you because the things first off, he gets it in terms of team concepts, making the extra pass, making a defensive rotation.
Right.
He's got enough quickness and enough athleticism. But he actually is like kind of like a pick and roll finisher and just something they don't have on this team. Like, I think they want Wiggins and Kuminga to be the guys who put force on the rim with their athleticism. And Steve Kerr said that last game. And they're giving them all the opportunity. But if those guys don't do it, you might just have to play the 6'9" guy who's a 5 who's actually willing to go up hard with the ball.
I think so. I mean, The minutes he got today were some of it was from Kuminga. You mentioned this in some of your tweets. He took some from Kuminga in the first half just because how bad he was. And then he played really 12 straight minutes. And some of that was for Wiggins, who Wiggins played with the second unit against OKC a little bit and played pretty well. But tonight it was the size issue. The Cavs have a pretty good defense.
Very good. Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't. Mobley didn't impress me too much tonight again. But this is a team that I think is comfortably at a top 4, top 5 seed in the East, probably a 4 seed, right?
50-win team.
Win a lot of games in the East. So and he's out there just banging with those guys. I don't know. He's a +8. He's really the only guy on this team that was plus tonight.
He was the only guy who made my kind of turned my eyes. I was like, oh, that's something. He's a good player tonight. I saw in the chat someone threw up.
What do we got?
Let's see where we're going with this one.
Oh, Jacob's at the game. Yeah, we might be cooked, brother. Oh, go
ahead. Bobby goes, Dario should not be playing the 5 at all. I kind of disagree with that. I think Dario Saric, there's an impulse to say Trace Jackson Davis's minutes would come from Dario. But Dario has a very specific stretch shooting role that they need. There'll be games where Trace should probably play more than Dario, but I don't think they play the same position in any capacity. They're different. It's a different look each time you get them out there. I think Trace Jackson Davis is going to force some tough conversations about Wiggins and
I agree. That's the one I agree
and
with.
Kuminga, honestly. Yep. Both those two guys, because they're both slashers. And if he's going to be the guy finishing inside, those dudes better be spot-up shooters, or I don't know how you play all of them together.
I 100% agree that minutes can't come out of Sarge, and some of it did, but some of it's just matchup specific too, right? Sarge today kind of just couldn't really make a shot, and this is kind of what happens.
Specific role too, yep. It's just you put him out there. It's a big who shoots. Sometimes it's 20 minutes, sometimes it's 8 minutes, but that's his role.
OKC, you see the value, right? Tonight,
yeah, exactly.
Maybe less so. They got a lot of matchup players. This is why every game the closing lineup is different. I think Steve has mostly pushed the right buttons. I think the Suns maybe not. But this game, I don't think there's anything Steve Kerr could have done. This is just a bad effort. Tired team. Couldn't make a shot. Dude, this is just what happens sometimes. The NBA, there's 82 of these games. I don't know how you can expect this team to play that great, but 36% from the field. Back to our first topic. You need guys to get some twos, and right now, Wiggins and Chris Paul aren't doing it. When I see Draymond Green shooting pull-up mid-range jump shots, that's why I know this team is not gonna be a game that they're gonna win.
He was kind of hitting them too, which is also. When's the last time Draymond had 18 and 8 with what multiple threes and a couple pull-ups? It's been a minute.
It makes no damn sense. Right now he looks fantastic. I thought maybe he'd come back a little slow off the ankle. Sam, right now he looks absolutely fantastic. So they need some other guys to play better, but they're 4-3 regardless.
Yeah.
All right. Before we get to the next one, this is what I've been waiting for. This week, this season's Light Years podcast is brought to you by Under Armour. Steph Curry makes you believe you can do anything, and the Curry 11s are specifically designed with ultimate bounce, grip, and stability to allow everyone to do their thing. New generations of ball players are coming up and showing the basketball world that the old rules do not apply. The future is exciting, fast, positive, and hungry. This NBA season, rock with your favorite player, all of our favorite players, and rep his shoes on and off the court. Curry 11s are perfect for the committed and casual ballers. The UA Warp tech makes the shoe feel like it was designed for your feet. Locked in no matter what you do on the court. Stop in your tracks with dual density UA flow, cushioning, and traction. An emergency brake you don't even notice. Steph's 11th signature shoe steps into the second decade of his sneaker career, pulling colorway inspiration from the wonders of a positive and modernized future on and off the court. Take these kicks with you when you leave the scrimmage and rep UA wherever you go. Do your thing. Change the game. The Curry One Future Curry is available now at currybrand.com. Restrictions apply. Oh, man, I didn't know you were going to throw that picture up there, Sam.
I'm not going to lie.
Wow.
The merch looks pretty good, too. They're nice looking sneakers, Curry brand. How much 3 Curry Brand subs you got. Like, it's just it's a good look. At some point, I'm sitting here going, I can't spend all my money on it, so I have to find a way to make them give it to me for free. Otherwise, my kid's never going to get any sort of like money in a savings account, So, plus,
That's
come on,
good.
that's stuff, man. That's our guy. It's our guy.
I just grabbed I just sent it in the chat. The ones that I got, and you will not be surprised, but they have my size. They have size 11s, but the freaking neon green is incredible. So we'll see. We'll see. I just injured my foot again in the shoes that I was wearing previous, so I'm switching.
Yeah, the problem with you and me is they become athleisure wear because we can't stay healthy more than a week in a row. Like, you'll wear it once, be starting to ice stuff. It's more of like shoes to put to go into the mall, but they look good. They look good. And no way around it. It's good both ends of the spectrum. Good to play in, good to just walk around town in.
Anyway. Come a long way since 2016. Look at these babies, man. Let's go, Curry Brand.
Let's go. I do think the other thing I want to talk about here is the defense. Well, the defense is pretty good tonight. I think they need to figure out offense and specifically who's going to be that guy who's going to slash and finish inside. And, we've talked about it ad nauseum, but the reason I'm buying this Warrior team right now is I think they could defend with anyone. I think Draymond specifically looks phenomenal defensively. Looney's still good. Even Wiggins is playing subpar in offense. I think he's not playing bad defense. He can play better, but he's certainly not playing bad defense by any stretch of imagination. Clay's looking better. Kuminga's getting into it. Kuminga actually, after having like a really bad first half, I think he made some plays that I thought they had a run in them, but just didn't come. In general, this roster seems very, connected.
I'm with you. I'm a little hesitant to go all the way. Like, I'm not sure if they're an elite defense yet, but this is such a better defense than what we saw last season. This is a defense that's going to win them a lot of games. I thought tonight they were in this game really the whole way because of their defense. Their shooting was piss poor, but Sam, they were down 6 to 8 points really the entire second half shooting that poorly, right? Sometimes you get those fake games against OKC the other night where I kind of threw that away where it's just, that team's making a shit ton of shots. There's nothing you can do about it. I don't know. The only thing is I don't know if there's an elite defense in here, right? That's the only part I don't know. I know that this is a top 10 defense. They're going to win, I think, even upwards of 48 to 55, whatever games. But I'm still waiting for them to turn on the switch where they're just going to close a team out 15-3 in a game. And I think some of that for me is worrisome because of, who Clay is now, how much Chris Paul is going to have to play with Steph and Clay. How good is Andrew Wiggins? Is he still elite? Is he like the person that's guarding Jason Tatum? And then kind of sneakily, and I know somebody brought this up in the chat, kind of sneakily, Kevon Looney's been struggling for a week or two now. So I think there's some
but he was awesome against Sacramento.
I think that's like his team, right? Like that's the team where he just owns all the time. You put him against Sac or Memphis, like Dallas. Like
I want to know what Sabonis said to him because it's so personal for him. It's like it's such a nah. I don't care if Jokic drops 70 on me. You are not beating me.
Yeah.
It's like that.
I'm curious to see how they're going to look against Denver. I think some of these, it's so hard to judge sometimes when you're watching some of these games too, because it's so obvious. It's a regular season game, right? They're not totally locked in, but I thought they were good tonight. It was a winnable game for these guys defensively, especially.
I mean, we're talking about, doesn't it all come back to Wiggins and Kuminga? Because Draymond's still a genius. Steph, CP, Clay, Looney, they're all smart. Like, CP looks very old, but like that dude knows where to be and the tricks of the trade defensively, right? It's a question of if they're athletic two-way wings, the guys they need to make their lineups, like not just geriatric. If those dudes are going to show up, it's crazy. But it's true though, right? Like, because without them, they're just too old. They're too old and too slow, right?
Yeah.
But if we get 2022 playoff Wiggins, if Kuminga builds upon the positive we've seen this year and it's a little more consistent, and then you throw GP2 in there, who's been Mr. Consistency, but like he's just one guy, and he's also kind of more of a backcourt wing, as much as he plays to size. If those guys all come around, I do think they have enough to be an elite defense, but it really, like, those are the question marks. Because I don't have a question mark about Draymond. I don't really have a question mark about Looney or Steph. I have a question mark about, like, the 6'8" dude who people tell me should be all defense. All of them, honestly. So,
Trace Jackson Davis is only going to help. I think in the play, we'll get to there in the play, but he's going to be someone that maybe even has to play next to Dario if they're going to have to
sure.
defensively. But I'm with you. I mean, we didn't even talk about GP2, dude. He's closed a bunch of games tonight. Comments all over it.
Insane that they feel the need to close with 3 guys under 6'3", but like they're the best dudes.
I mean, it's the right. It was the right move in OKC. Mm-hmm. Yeah, comments all over it. Talking about GP2 only played 12 minutes tonight. I wonder what it was. Wonder if he got hurt. Maybe just he's always
he was on the bike a little bit there.
Okay. So maybe he was dealing with something, right? I wonder who plays tomorrow night. I know Slater just reported that the veterans are going to play tomorrow night. So I wonder if he plays. I wonder if they scale back the minutes for those guys. It's another back-to-back, Sam, that they're playing. So be interesting to see. Draymond got his wish, right? That this team gets the young guys for more energy. Pods and TJD come back almost immediately, and they play.
You think they're locked in? They're like, we got to show Big Jim who's the man. You know what's going on? You think it's gonna be like Team USA when Pippen and Jordan were like, we're shutting down Tony Kukoc. This is gonna be Draymond on Big Jim.
Well, that would require that was fast. That would require though. Tony Kukoc is actually on the floor, right? So that would require.
He's a very good player. Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true.
It does remind me of my guy Jeremy Lin. Remember when LeBron and Wade made it a point to shut him down, and
but he played well enough to earn it.
Exactly.
So
exactly, my guy.
I could see that happening. Maybe it's happened to our guy Brock Purdy. Although I'm still a believer, but at least
I still believe.
At least he played well enough to make people have to do it, So
Brock's gonna be he's
that's
gonna be
that's
good.
Dark. We're not going there.
Don't. I joke about it on Twitter all the time, but I still believe in.
You gotta have a sense of humor. So you can't. Not everything can be that serious. I can't have people like up my mentions over every joke. I just threw out a picture of Cody Ross and said number 22 on the Warriors.
When did you do that? I did not see that. That was
I know. Hey man, that's how it's trending. One season playoff wonder.
Great beard. If Wiggins can get Cody Ross's beard, I think they'll get another championship.
Yeah. All right, let's get to the goons. Let's get some goons up here. If you want to call in, hit the hand on the middle. We'll take everyone. And everyone. Very good. Start with Jacob.
Hey, Jacob's the one that's at the game, or that was at the game, right?
Should be at the game. Our guy. Yeah. That's what I'm sure.
Oh, dude, let's go.
Are you there right now? Where are you?
I said in the chat, you guys might have missed it. I had to sprint to my car because my phone was going to die, and it did. So I had to get back on and rejoin.
Perfect timing. All right.
I'm in the car.
It worked out. We appreciate the effort.
Thank you, sir.
Anytime. First of all, congrats on the decent sponsorship. They all kind
of appreciate it. Tell us what my experience is. Cleveland is the most resentful arena towards the Warriors in America. Can you confirm or deny?
I can confirm. I will say I did wear the Steph Curry jersey all day. I made a little day out of it here in Cleveland, the land. And it was actually fine, pleasant. It was a beautiful day here, and nobody said anything. It was a Browns game day. So there were Cleveland fans all around all day, and it was fine. Actually, my first interaction with someone was an elderly Browns fan was headed to the game, and he said something to me, and I'm kind of bracing myself. And he said, "Oh, I love Steph Curry. I love watching the Warriors play. They play a beautiful brand of basketball." And I was like, "Preach, sir." And so that was nice, and I had the good vibes going. And then I, like I said, made a day out of it. I was headed to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, so I was in the middle of all kinds of Browns fans, and it just takes one to start, the avalanche. And there was a guy across the street I was waiting to cross, making small talk with a cop who was kind of giving me crap. And first guy goes, "Golden State, you're in the wrong environment for that." Which, fair. I was walking in enemy territory.
That's not bad.
It's not bad. Well, from there, it just took that one person. Hundreds of people were heading to Cleveland Browns Stadium for their home game, and everyone proceeded to boo me. Like, everyone.
Oh, that's pretty good.
The entire crowd of people, which felt kind of exhilarating.
That's kind of cool.
It was cool. I felt really famous for a second.
Yeah, you were Draymond for a second there. That's really what you were.
I was. No, I literally did blow them kisses back, like gave them like the heart back and said, three rings to one. Because, I was getting 3-1, of course. Yeah. And I said, well, 3 rings to 1. No, so it's still resentful. Steph Curry and Draymond Green still, have affected the hearts of Cleveland fans. But, whatever else you guys want to know, I don't really have a take on the game other than I wish it was a win.
What'd you think of the diff?
I'm sorry?
Did you say on the scoreboard they have the diff, just in case it's hard for you to do math in terms of?
That is so interesting you say that, because I've never seen that at any other arena, and I
correct
did that, and I was like, thanks, like help fans do math. I don't know.
That's my favorite part of that arena. I've never seen it anywhere. I'm like, do I really need you to explain to me 97, 89 is 8? Teach their own. Teach their own. Andy and I got the immigrant parents making sure we knew our multiplication tables at age 6.
What was the thing that you spin there's a little what's it called? Sam, you know what I'm talking about. It's the thing where it's wooden. The abacus. Dude,
yes.
My dad was using the abacus when I was a kid. Or even the fucking 1920s, man. Shit. Anyway, hey, listen, we appreciate you. Have fun, stay safe, man, and hey, get out there and get a bar and go get some more booze in, bro.
Yeah, you know what? I actually have to head home because I got to work tomorrow. But I just tonight
don't we all?
Tonight didn't move the needle for me. Like, I agree with pretty much everything you all have said. Like, we've seen this game before. Until I see 5-10 game stretch of games like this, I think tonight was just kind of effort and focus and old tired legs. So wish it was a win. But whatever. Have a good night, guys.
Appreciate you, man. Have a good one.
All right, sir. Great stuff. All right. Before we get to the rest of the goons, last one. This week's Light Years podcast is brought to you by AG1. All right, so this one hits near and dear to my heart, Sam. I got them stomach issues all the time. Got that indigestion. I don't know what I'm eating. So here's what I did. I gave
Light Years boomer segment.
Hey, dude, people know exactly what we're talking about. You eat a little bit too spicy, a little too much hot sauce.
Doesn't hit the same way in your 30s.
You know what I'm saying? So what I did was I gave AG1 a try. When I started drinking AG1 daily, I started to feel better. Started to feel more energized. Started to feel more relaxed. I do it every morning before I eat breakfast or before I drink my coffee. And that is because AG1 is a foundational nutrition supplement that supports your body's universal needs like gut optimization, stress management, and immune support. Since 2010, AG1 has led the future of foundational nutrition, continuously refining their formula to create a smarter, better way to elevate your baseline health. AG1 is the supplement I trust to provide the support my body needs daily. If you want to take ownership of your health, it starts with AG1. Here we go. Try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3K2 and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase. So go to drinkag1, the letter, .com/lightyears. That's drinkag1.com/lightyears. Check it out.
First off, I have AG1 every day. You're going to be so disgusted when I tell you what time I have it. Just take a guess.
Oh my God. Like at 5:45 a.m.
Correct. 5:30. I am because I just full old man, get woken up 5-ish, and then I have my AG1 in the fridge. I'm a mix it.
Oh, so you do it the night before?
I started doing that because I like it cold. And
sense.
mostly here's the real issue. I'm like half asleep and I'm annoyed mixing it. So this is a personal hack because I have low patience.
Yeah.
But then I do it there. I get it. Quick shake just to redisperse it because that's how you gotta do with all drinks.
Yeah.
Have it good to go. Been drinking less coffee. Feeling healthier. It's the move. This is the way.
This is a brand new you. Less coffee. Look, I'm not like a huge...
How much happier do I sound?
Yeah, you do. I mean, this has been years now that you sounded happier. Ever since your kid was born, you sounded happier.
That's true.
This is what
finally someone who brings joy in my life. No, just kidding.
Oh my God! The comments say lay off the dairy, dude. I'm Chinese, man. I've been laid off the dairy my whole life. I mean, come on, what are we doing here? What are we doing here?
I'm Persian, and all meals involve yogurt. So
I was going to say you're not.
Absolutely not laying off the dairy, which is a problem, which is where AG1 comes in. Anyway, keep moving. Get our guy Tashan up here.
Oh, well, I feel personally responsible for this loss. But hey, but before I give my thoughts, in order to learn about the cool new details about the new sponsorship that Sand and Andy are getting, like the Curry brand sponsorship, you should probably subscribe to the Patreon, by the way. Get to the Goons chat in the Discord, by the way.
Wow.
This pod's just a full ad at this point.
Just an hour straight.
But you know what? It's okay. It's a long season. Sometimes you get they played like an infomercial. We might as well give you an infomercial.
Right. So about Jonathan Kuminga, I appreciate the strong second halves, but at a certain point, CP3 is going to have to use a bit more Spain pick and roll and make sure that Jonathan Kuminga is the first screener, because he has to be more involved and can't go 0 for 6 in the first half. That can't happen. We're missing Jordan Poole's scoring as much as all of us don't like him right now. But
no, it's true. It's true.
The only way we could supplement it is with Moody and, more importantly, Jonathan Kuminga's scoring. And so he has to be the role man. He has to be used in the post a little bit more. And he can't be terribly inefficient in the first half again. So that's pretty much the only thing that I'm just looking for. And, by the way, remind me of Game 15 because, I'm going to be on Wiggins by then. So remind me then.
I do. I mean, the reality is, okay, so Poole could throw 40 up on any given game, and he did it a handful of times last year, but he was inconsistent. So they make a decision, get Chris Paul. Chris Paul's never going to score 40, but he's going to make smarter decisions. So can we make up for Poole's scoring between, a little Chris Paul mid-range jumper, a little Jonathan Kuminga step, a little bit here and there, and that's what's going to be. And tonight was a perfect example of Warriors not getting that. So, I think it's a fair call out. It's one of those things where it's like certain nights you're like, man, it'd be nice to have a guy who could just go get a bucket whenever they wanted. That's not who they are. Is what it is. They're going to have to. Yeah.
I think too, it's what you're missing when you traded him away, but the benefits of having and we saw the benefits of what they got in the 5 wins that they had, right? The lack of turnovers, the better defense, the better connectivity across the second unit. I think tonight's second unit struggled a little bit, which is why Steve Kerr went searching. He really went searching. And that's why Bajemski and Trace Jackson Davis, man, I thought he clicked the right buttons there.
I did too. Give it to Steve. I like the way he went to it there. So yeah,
he was cooking in OKC too, right? And we talked about that. So he did all the right things. Result was right. I did process and result was right tonight. Sometimes the results don't go your way because Steph plays like,
The call-out's pretty simple. The guys who he calls on have to execute a little better. I don't think he did anything particularly wrong coaching wise. I think he's coached a hell of a good season so far. I've liked most of the moves he's made across the board. I think he might have thrown game one with Chris Paul starting just to make sure it was, a bought-in thing. Oh, we got a special guest.
Hey guys!
Hey, first appearance, I think, of the season.
Yeah, it is.
Let's go.
Just of this season, yeah.
Just of this season, and with y'all new sponsors and all that. But, this game. Well, it was a game, but everybody said pretty much what I was thinking as well. We really need Wiggs back. But you see how Kerr had said, listen, he's been with us. He's got off to a slow start. He's going to try to work Wiggins back into the mix, try to get him going earlier. So let's see what happens in Detroit. But Wiggins has just really been disappointing to me.
I agree.
Oh.
I worried.
Yeah.
I think we're not doing official worrying until we get beyond 10 games. That's the
is that the rule?
That's the rule. It's it's like when you go somewhere, you're like, I'm not sure I'm feeling it, but I'm not ready to speak on it just yet.
Yeah.
So we're not in full concern mode. It's just something of note at this stage.
Right. We're taking note of it, and it's kind of like when you listen to a CD. For me, I've got to give it 3 times. A full listen.
Nice.
And then I decide if this is any good. Because,
Really?
Yeah, just like a TV show. I've got to give it at least 3 episodes.
Okay, I'm with you on that one.
Currently we're on like listen 1 and you're like a little underwhelming.
Yeah.
But I'm ready, but maybe I missed something. Maybe it's ready. Maybe let's give it round 2.
Exactly.
Maybe I underrated track 4. I was busy with work. I didn't see what was going on.
Right. And I missed that, beat there and that little, first verse, second verse. But I say at least 15 games that I feel like, all right, I'm going to be comfortable with looking at Wiggins and really seeing what he's doing. Because maybe he just didn't come into camp in shape. I mean...
Or like it's a long season and maybe he just is shooting poorly for the first 7 or 8 games. These are all like it's one of those things where if he starts shooting the ball well, we're gonna laugh about like I had a slow start. So.
All right. Okay, listen, Sam. I'm gonna go with you because you're one of the more positives of the team, because Andy be ready to ship him off somewhere. But I don't think we'll see James Wiseman. I'll leave on this note. I don't think we'll see James Wiseman tomorrow because
pregame dap up will be that
will be it.
That's it.
Yeah, because Monty, even though he may be like this, really kind of like a nice guy. He wants to be respected, yada, yada, yada. But I feel like, he hasn't played that boy since the start of the season. So,
yeah, I don't know what's going on there. And I feel like he's not even playing blowouts, which to me feels like that Wiseman's probably saying or Wiseman's agent, whatever, has probably told the Detroit front office, like, hey, don't play me, just trade me, right? And it's like, man, I don't. Who wants to trade for him? I kind of feel bad for him.
So do I.
Yeah. So.
But
I don't know.
We've seen it.
but no, I hear both you guys. Like it doesn't feel like it's not
going to work in Detroit. It's
right.
On to the next city.
And there we are. And that is my out. But thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
And
Appreciate it,
Karima.
Laters.
I think we end it there.
All right, let's go.
Actually, sorry, we got one more. Let's get one more. I gotta get our guy Archie up here. He's the loyal, the regular. Get him up.
Let's roll.
And then we're out of here.
We'll be back tomorrow night.
Oh, we'll be back tomorrow night. Archie, what's up, brother? Archie there?
Oh, here we go. Perfecto.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, perfect.
Ooh,
How
you
you guys
gotta,
doing?
You gotta
mute the stream because I'm
mute the stream because I'm hearing
my own voice. I don't like my own
Sounds-
voice.
I don't like my own voice.
Sounds
Still hearing
deeper
it?
on.
Sounds deeper on.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh man. Let me hang up
We
and
can
go
probably
back
still
in.
What device are you on?
I'm just on my phone. That's it.
Okay, it should work.
Okay, it should work.
You know what, Sam?
You know what, Sam?
I are not
I
going
are not going to speak.
And we're
We're gonna let Archie get his take on.
All right, I'll say it quickly, just so I don't mess up the stream. Congratulations, one on the new sponsorship. This one lets me know that Steph is a psycho, and he does know 20% of the reason KD is not on the team is because of Andy. So let's get that out the way first and foremost. I'm not really worried about the loss today. You know, it's 6 games into the season or 7 games into the season. I feel like if we played Cleveland this same schedule, like in the middle of January, we probably would throttle them. So it's like it's young legs, early energy, you know, the whole thing. I do want to say I am a little worried about Wiggins, so I'm going to start like a Wiggins gate just to kind of see what's going on with him, like as far as a slow start to the season. But I do want to see Moody in more situations as well as a little bit more responsibility from Kuminga. On the Curry side, he has to turn down the boneheaded turnovers just because I'm seeing too many of them too early in the season. I'm used to them like every 3 or 4 games or so. So, and then Trace, I know he's going to have to fight for minutes, but I do think that he's not just going to be like a spots minutes guy down the line just because looking at the team with Draymond and Looney being 2 of our best defenders, they're not really defenders that protect the rim as much as I think he is, even though he's undersized. So, you know, it's work in progress, but I'm sure Kerr will figure things out. Steph we trust, but not really worried about one game.
Cool, perfect. I didn't want to speak until
Appreciate you as always, bro. You call in whenever you want. I kind of agree with him. I feel like everyone's just kind of like 5-2. Can't be too mad, but 22. Wake up a little bit.
We'll be back tomorrow night. Appreciate everyone. Appreciate the goons.
Everyone,
Love y'all.
Everyone pull out their Wiseman jerseys. Ready to party tomorrow.